OK, takže ahoj, já jsem Donu a vítám vás u dalšího videa a už mám všechny ty věci na to pokračování toho questu. Takže můžeme jít na to. Můžeme pokračovat. Jinak tu věc jsem získal tím, že jsem do toho střelil lukom, ale zle jsem to střelil, mal jsem to střelit hore.
The tooth of layman Procopius, which definitely isn't holy.
It isn't. But then again, one day it could be. You never know what course a man's life might take.
I suppose not. But it wasn't easy to get. So if anyone's the miracle worker here, it's me.
Perhaps. But I heard he was the one who suffered like a martyr.
A branch from a blessed topping out.
Excellent. And how did you get it down?
I had to shoot it down.
Watch out for this man. He's a regular William Tell.
Well, there wasn't any other way.
So we've got all that sorted out.
From the woods
and now
or from the
to
pen.
the next man.
It all tastes delicious.
So, about my reward.
Not so fast. There's one more thing. It's rather complicated and delicate.
What thing?
A shroud.
A shroud?
Yes. A burial
Salami,
shroud
sausages,
of
lard of
someone
all
who
kinds
passed
of
away not too
scratchings
long
that make
ago.
your mouth water more than the finest cake.
I'm just supposed to take a dead person's clothes.
Christ, no. I need a burial shroud. The precious enveloping garment in which the deceased is buried.
And does it matter who I take it from?
It needs to be someone who lived an honest life. And I have just the fellow. A good man by the name of Lokota who recently passed on.
Right. So where can I find him?
His family is waiting for the funeral. For now he's lying in the small church in Sasa.
And who
From
was
the
this
yard or
Lokota?
From the wood,
I
lean
know
and fatty
only a
pork,
little,
chicken
but
and
according to the
bacon.
locals,
We
he
have it
was
all.
an honorable man.
Come and see.
You should certainly try to ask around. Take care now.
Have a look at these cucumbers.
OK, cool. Jdeme to urobiť. Takže je tu v malom kostolíku pochovaný.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dobré, OK. To musím pohľadať.
Something you're looking for, hey? Hey, what are you playing at here?
What?
Hey, what do you think?
Bye. Tak. Burial shroud. Groschen. Čo? Čo? What? Ona mi to len tak okradla. Ona mi len tak ukradla. Kurník. Jednu epizodu ukončím nasraný a ďalšiu začnem nasraný. Prečo by to... Čo? Ja som si hovoril, že tam je nejaký bug a ja som to stlačil a ono mi to odobralo 1177 grošnou.
Asparagus, they'll
The
cut you
fuck?
in half. And cucumbers, that'll cure what
A
ails
čo?
you. Come get them.
I have the...
Salami,
Lord Almighty, you don't want
marble,
everyone to
kinds
see
of
it, do you?
scratchings that
Good
make
luck to
your
you.
mouth water more than the finest cake.
Would you teach me more about...
Certain.
I'm interested...
All right.
Si len improvnem alchemiu. Plne sa. Nemám peniaze teraz. OK. Armor, môžem dať pupu, burial shroud, ten si musím nechať. Cool, to potom môžem predať u niekoho. Tak. On ide po tej cestičke, takže musel ísť takto otočiť sa a tak.
I have the shroud for you.
Have you now? Good work.
Yes, well, it wasn't easy.
I'm sure. That's also why God be with you.
That's where he lives. Let's teach him a lesson.
He's
Oh,
inside. I saw him go
Fuck.
in.
Henry, delay them.
What? How?
There's a reward for you in the trunk. I'll see you in Ledechko.
Come on.
Break it
Do
down.
it.
Cool. Lazarus. Dobra.
What are you doing here?
What's it to you? you want me to give you all a whipping?
You're a scoundrel for protecting that two-faced weasel, but I won't let myself get killed for a few groschen. Let's go.
To je všecko? OK. Dobré, cool. Master Thief, dobra. Op. Jo, já jsem toho Prokopiusa uspal a potom jsem si zobral jeho ne. Potom jsem si zobral ten zub od něho. Bylo to veľa rýchlejšie. Takže v ledečku to pokračuje. Dobré, můžeme pokračovat do ledečka. Tak. Cool. Na něco narazím. Snare. OK, můžeme já jdem vyzkoušet ten nový meč. Ještě jsem až tak s ním nebojoval s tím novým mečem. Mal by být dobrý. Tak.
What the fuck are you looking for here? I'll slaughter you. Ow. Come on.
Dead? Pup. Pup. Tak.
Bugger.
Uf. No dal jsem mu ještě to kombo jedno. Fine wine. Oh, Hero Dog Potion, nice. Hero Dog Potion znova, děkujem. Dobré, můžeme pokračovat.
Yeah.
Možná můžeme zkusit něco jít ulovit. Pojďme to zkusit. Takže já si dám, aby jsem byl potichu, tak si dám dole nějaké tyto věci. Zajaca. Hm. Tu asi nenajdeme nič. Už nevidím. A tak nič. Jsem špinavý, ale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tak. No. OK, pojďme nejprve do ledečka. Tak se radši teraz tentokrát pojďme pryč. Drahomíra.
God save. God bless.
Halo? Spadlo mi to? Takže ještě raz, já si chcel. No, dobré. Tak. OK, to mi nevadí. Turnament, teraz ne. Teraz mi nevadí turnament, tak.
Don't you feel...
I'd like to take Mutt travelling with me again.
I see he came back on his own. Did you do something to him?
No?
You haven't been taking care of him.
I have. It just got very dangerous, and I didn't want anything to happen to him. So I sent him back here, where he'd be safe.
Ah. That was kind of you. Sorry.
Now, come here, Mutt.
O, já jsem chtěl skipnout ten... Okay. Tak ukáž, Dogo, obzerej. Mám papu.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Pif. Jedz, papkaj. Papkaj. Jedz. Dobrý, Jafo, dobrý.
Look what I've got. You'll love this.
Mám viac? Môžem mu toho dať viac. Dám mu ešte jeden. Môžem nejako vidieť jeho stats, že či je hladný? Alebo niečo? Ne. Okay. Tak, papkaj.
Good fella. That's my boy.
Cool.
Wait here for me.
Teraz
Stay.
stay.
To me?
Dobre, cool. Teraz stay.
Wait here for me. Stay.
Stay. Poď
Heel.
ku mne. Praise.
Good fella. That's my...
Fú.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love this.
Tak. Dám mu všetko to meso, lebo ja práve... Lebo nechcem, aby mi to tam zhnilo,
Look what
takže...
I've got for you. You'll love this.
Takže tomu dám.
That's a good boy. That's my boy.
Na túto hru asi ho môžem aj rozmaznať tým, určite. Bude tam nejaký, že stat rozmaznanie alebo niečo, bude mať nejaký negatívny efekt. Tak. OK. Čo je toto? Možná mám moc veľa tých kokerov poušnú. Už nemám žiadne dokonca. Poď.
Well, well, who have we here?
Ah, the prodigal son returns. I knew you'd come back to me one day.
Let me guess, you saw it in a dream?
I knew you were going to say that.
I had a dream of my own.
You too? So you learned something from me after all?
Yeah, it was just when I was getting pummeled by a mob of very irate villagers.
Odd, that unfortunate misunderstanding. What can you do?
Misunderstanding, yeah. I tried to explain that to them, but they were too busy kicking my arse to listen.
Tu sa to pokračuje. Super.
So what is it you want from me now?
Oh, my dear apprentice, everything's gone to the devil. I'm living from hand to mouth, sleeping on straw, and the local peasants won't buy from me. They say they don't trust me, as if I was some kind of charlatan. Can you believe it? Does this look to you like the face of a swindler? I'm an honest trader in sacred goods, whose only concern is the welfare of troubled souls.
A regular good Samaritan.
And any time now the slanderous gossip will spread here from Sassau. I should leave before things get worse. But I can't go anywhere until I've made a bit of coin. So what's needed is to give the locals a bit of encouragement, to open their hearts and purses.
I'm not going to go around beating people for you.
What do you take me for? I wouldn't hurt a fly. Violence is for the dull-witted. We must gently demonstrate to them the necessity of buying my remedies. For example, to ward off a revenant.
Revenant? What revenant?
The dead return from the grave. A corpse that the soul is unable to depart from, which wanders among the living, filled with rage at its wretched fate.
Yeah, I saw something like that once. But it was just some drunk going home from the tavern after losing all his money at dice.
Don't make light of such things. Now tell me, do you know how to deal with a revenant?
Sprinkling poppy seeds on the grave?
That works for mares, but it would probably only provoke a revenant. You are my trained apprentice, but the ignorant villager is entirely at a loss how to deal with such dark forces. It is our sacred duty to prepare them for such threats.
And how do you propose to do that?
Well, they're all doubting Thomases. They need proof. We'll need a grave, an empty grave that we can use. There's one along the way to Sassau, but it's got one minor shortcoming.
What's that?
Well, it's not entirely empty.
Not entirely? What does that mean?
You have to dig it up first.
Why this particular grave?
The locals don't like to talk about it, so it's surely got some sinister past behind it. And in places like that, revenants sprout up like mushrooms after rain.
Well, if that's how it is, we could open old wounds. That could easily set people against us. Again.
Then it would be best if no one could connect us to it, wouldn't it?
I'll have nothing to do with it. Give the job to someone with no human decency.
But you're my one and only apprentice.
Já jsem nevěděl, že to cancelně ten quest.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Ještě raz to zkusíme.
What's this about the Revenant?
I knew you wouldn't abandon.
I'll need a spade then.
Yes, dig it up and remove the remains, leaving no trace.
And what am I to do with the remains?
Keep them. Human remains are always handy to have around.
Great. And how do we spread the word of this Revenant?
There's a gossip in every village. Here too, a woman who'll spread news quicker than a dozen messengers on the fastest steeds.
And what am I to tell this gossip?
All you have to do is casually mention the empty grave, and before evening, I'll wager the whole village will know about it.
Where does this woman live?
The last house on the left, on the road to Sassau. She was the first person I met here, and by the time I reached the village green, I already had a mob looking suspiciously at me. The rumor-mongering fishwife.
And that's all?
Oh, speech.
Quite.
Konečně.
You should ask her who was buried there. So we've got a story to work with.
So, dig up the grave, talk to the gossip.
And the remains. Don't forget to remove them. Otherwise, no one will believe in the Revenant. Take care now.
Okay.
Hey, who's there?
O, on ští.
To me?
Tak. Takže to je Ačko? To asi bude Ačko tentokrát. Jo, to je ono.
Yeah.
Cool, jdeme tam.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Čo je? To čo je? To je nějaký bug? To je asi nějaký easter egg. Já jsem... Našel jsem easter egg nějaký. Jsme se mal jíst. Jo. Pojďme rychle. Musíme utěct. Musíme utěct. Pomoc.
Yeah. Yeah.
Co to dáme? Ještě raz.
Yeah.
Když uvidím nějaký zvěra, nějakou kravu, tak asi tu zabijem právě mesoprapsa. Tak, aby som nemusel kupovať meso.
Yeah.
Skvěle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To asi tuto bude. Tak toto vyzerá ako dobré miesto. Aha, tu je to. Dobre. Orax. Manus. Ale prečo sú tam latinské... Ok. Dobre, sú tam latinské názvy teda. Ok, jasne. A to sú quest itemy? Jo, to sú quest itemy. Tu mám koně, tu je koň.
Yeah. Yeah.
To je. Len tak? Chodiaci? Tak. Kojf. Môžeme ísť ďalej.
Yeah.
Activated perk. Burger. 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 Aktivoval som burger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ja, cool.
Yeah.
Tu je. Táto typňa. Ne, ona to zamkne. Dobre. To je spodne.
God.
Tak.
God be with you, good wife. Has something happened here?
There's always trouble of one kind or another, but nothing worth mentioning.
Okay.
And what about that empty grave?
What empty grave would that be now?
The one beyond the village, alongside the road to Sasau. Just by the river, on the Pine Headland.
How would you know it's empty? Unless it was dug up.
Oh, it's dug up, all right. Freshly. And empty. I saw it with my own 2 eyes.
Lord in heaven, what in the name of...
How come it's not in hallowed ground, anyway? Only unrepentant sinners are buried like that. Usually.
I don't like to say. It's an old wound that's best forgotten.
Whose grave is it?
Well, once a long time ago there was a young charcoal burner living here with his wife. There was always a lot of charcoal burners here, but this fellow worked alone. That's not an easy job for one man.
Well, no one wanted to work with him, or what?
Ah, he was a hard-headed fellow who always wanted to take care of his family himself.
Well, I can understand that. It's always better to work for yourself than break your back for someone else.
His wife was expecting, though no one knew it yet, and he wasn't doing well at all. Soon enough they had nothing to eat, and so he took to thieving.
Well, I can understand him. To watch your family suffer like that. What could he do when they were going hungry?
If we'd known how badly off they was, folk would have helped out. But he kept his troubles to himself.
And did he get caught?
Well, at first it was just a few eggs going missing from people's hen coops. But then it was anything that wasn't nailed down. And in the end, they caught him.
And I suppose he was harshly punished for it.
Even then he didn't let on why he was doing it. They whipped the skin off his back and banished him from Ledečko.
So justice was done then?
It wasn't enough for some folk. When the butcher found out he'd never get any compensation, he wanted them to chop off the charcoal burner's hands. If the bailiff hadn't talked sense into him, he'd have done it himself with his cleaver.
Well, he got off lightly enough then.
And in the end, he got what was coming to him, and more.
The butcher caught up with him?
No. It was the mills of God turning slowly but surely. His wife bled to death in childbirth, and the child died with her.
I'm sorry to hear that. But at least he knew they were gone to a better place.
True, lad.
Nothing could have been done to save them.
There was no one there. He had no one who would care for his wife. They say on that day he parted ways with God forever, and he turned his back on the village too. I reckon he never forgave himself, nor us either.
The Lord moves in mysterious ways. But how did he end up?
Don't ask me that, lad. I beg you.
Sorry, good wife. Let's leave it be.
Thanks, lad.
Tak, dobré.
What are you up to here?
Okay. To ani není nič na ukradnutí, s tím to nemůžeme interaktovat. To je na hovno. Dobré.
Heel.
Dobré. Už viete, čo idem urobiť. Idem skúsiť od toho butchera zobrať nejaké mäso pre psa, alebo pes.
Wait here. Stay.
Tak, viděli mě? To majú meso. Tak. OK. Kurník. Cool, to je aj grošnou veľa. Bereme si nejaký chicken. Nejaký ramp. Máme... Tak. Groše. Tu niekto není. I'll decorate silver goblet. Napapám sa. Čo? Tak.
Good boy.
Good boy.
That's... Look what... You'll love this. Look what I've got. You'll...
Zje obidve.
Who's there?
Me.
Yep.
Chicken. Papkaj.
Yep.
Vyjadže mu všetky tie sliepky.
Yep. Yep. Look what I've got for you. Yep.
Tak nič. Dám free.
Come along, free.
Tak, idem odovzdať ten quest. A potom ukončím video. Ešte.
Look.
Poď. Aby som už nebol preťažený, ja to chcem vyhádzať.
Look what I've got.
going on there? Hey, you! Halt!
O, ja som omylom zobral zo zeme niečo. Kradnem asi. Okej.
Got you! What? So the thief takes us all? This definitely won't come.
Koľko?
What's that?
O.
What?
Okej. Tu máš.
You paid for. Give me back the.
No, aspoň už nejsem preťažený. To ukáž, je free. Free. Cool, free. Spol sa mi mobil, teraz neviem koľko mám na časovači. 50 minút. Tak.
My respects to you.
I know who a charcoal burner.
So begins the tragic tale of the young charcoal burner who became entangled with the devil himself.
Oh, don't start. What devil? I'm trying to tell you. Ugh. He was from Ledechko. He was trying to eke out a living for himself and his wife, but he couldn't manage. When she fell pregnant, he took to stealing.
Pride drove him from the straight and narrow path, and soon he sold his soul to the devil to fill his stomach.
They caught him and punished him, but some of the people he'd robbed didn't think it was enough. Then when his wife died in childbirth, and the child too, he blamed everyone for it. Even God, apparently.
But when the time came to pay his debt to hell, the devil had no use for his soul, and took his wife and child instead. The charcoal burner cursed God, who struck him down in righteous vengeance. But the dead man's soul never left his body. He came back as a revenant to vent his rage at God and men and take vengeance on the living.
Jesus, did you listen to what I said at all?
Sorry, did you say something?
Oh, never mind. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, the question is, what would the revenant do to get revenge on the villagers? Well, apprentice?
What about his wife and child? No doubt he'd want to avenge their death.
Well, how did they die?
In childbirth.
No.
And when his love turned to rage, the water turned to blood. Nothing too original, but it's tried and tested. If you do it at the baths, everyone will hear of it.
How am I supposed to do that? It might be a bit suspicious if I'm seen walking around with a pail of blood.
No problem. There's a certain potion.
Potion.
Do the trick easily.
He was stealing food from people, right? So, supposing he started again.
We should steal from people? Disgrace.
Maybe just a few eggs from hen coops, like the gossip mentioned.
Well, that wouldn't be too serious a sin. Will they put it down to the revenant, though?
They would, if I put some charcoal there instead.
And their nourishment he turned into ash.
The gossip mentioned the butcher. It seems he was infuriated that the charcoal burner's punishment was too lenient.
And the revenant spoiled their meat with his malign touch.
How's that?
Spoiled meat is a classic example of a revenant's power.
I thought it was the work of bad butchers.
That too, sometimes.
So, I should switch the good meat for bad at the butcher's.
But make sure it's the same kind of meat. Not even a revenant will turn a cow into a chicken.
He cursed God. That's very serious.
What is it that most brings God to mind?
They don't have a church there. But everyone will have a rosary. I can't think of anything else.
That's it! If folks start losing their rosaries, they'll have sleepless nights over it.
You want me to steal rosaries? But that's...
Or just exchange them.
For what?
Cool.
For nothing.
Great.
So, switch eggs for charcoal, switch the meat, color the water in the baths, and switch the rosaries.
Nice.
That ought to do it. I hope so. Of course, if you come up with anything else, don't let me hold you back. Talking to people might give you ideas. Traders, the bailiff.
But what if someone sees me in the act?
They mustn't. Otherwise, it'll end up like Sasau all over again. Don't draw attention to yourself, or they'll put two and two together.
Sure. I'll keep my head down. And how would I know if I've succeeded? I doubt it'll be announced on the market square.
I'll be the first to know. They'll come running to me for a remedy, like hens at feeding time. Off you go and raise hell.
Nice. Dobre.
Right. I'll get to it then.
Farewell.
Dobre, to by bolo všetko. A zatím čus. Jo, okej. Ja som chcel počkať, kým sa to načíta. A